Well, good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. For those of you just popping on, my name is Claudia Cometa. I'm a pharmacist and independent skincare consultant coming here every Wednesday to provide you tips, tricks, and education to achieve the best skin of your life. So May is dedicated to education, specifically focusing on the fact that May is labeled as Skin Cancer Awareness Month. So each week in May, I'm going to focus on something to do with skin cancer awareness, prevention, etc. If you've been paying attention to the news lately, you may have seen some information coming through on sunscreens and their application in schools. But if you have not been hearing about that, I wanted to kind of give you a background. So the issue at hand is sunscreens currently are not allowed to be applied to a child in school unless there is a written order to do so by a licensed healthcare professional or an actual prescription on hand for the school staff. Now that may seem a little bit crazy, however, let's go back a little bit and talk about how the FDA classifies sunscreens and why they do so. So in a lot of countries, sunscreens are classified as cosmetics. In the US, sunscreens are classified as drugs. That may seem a little bit crazy, but let's back up again and talk about what the FDA thinks is a drug. So definition of a drug to the FDA is a substance used to diagnose, cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent a disease. So if you think through that, sunscreens are labeled and said to help prevent sunburns and skin cancer. So it would then make sense that they classify that as a drug and they regulate products that are claiming to carry a certain SPF. So that all makes sense. Now we've got that nomenclature and those laws in place, which then result in sunscreen being an issue in schools, just like any other drug, whether it's over the counter or prescription would be. They would require a prescription. So where are we at now? We're at now at the point where certain states are working on legislation to allow sunscreens to sort of come out of that grouping in a school setting and be applied in schools. And now most of the states are, certainly not just wanting it to be, anarchy in the schools and allow children to use other people's sunscreens. It is going to be specifically for kids who bring in their own sunscreen from their parent or guardian, and the staff is then allowed to help them, or they are allowed to apply it to themselves. So there are some states that have passed this legislation already. Those include Washington State, which was the most recent, California, New York, Oregon, Texas, and Utah. A few other states are working on it, including Rhode Island and Alabama. Florida is working on it as well. And so it's kind of in motion. So it used to be only one state, and now we've got several states on board. And so that's kind of what's going on. So if that's something that you believe in, feel free to certainly get the word out, pass it along to your legislators. I certainly believe in allowing parents and their children to protect themselves at school, summer camps, the PE, or there's times of the day that they're just out in the sun a lot, definitely including summer camps. So that's what's going on in the sunscreen news. I hope that shed a little bit of light on that topic. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week.